Om Shanti Avyakti
Om
Parivar में
Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today is the 31st of May, 2023. Through your elevated mind and subtle attitude, serve. And today's topic is make yourself powerful. The Avyakt signal. The most powerful and best service of all is service through the mind. For this, make yourself powerful. If your mind is even a little weak, you will not be able to serve with your mind. You can serve with your words. So now, do all types of service with your thoughts, words, and actions, and you will be able to claim full marks. Now, let's listen from Mohini Didi.
ओम शांति।
Om Shanti.
ये मई मास का पूरा मास हम लोगों ने
This entire month of May,
सेवा, सूक्ष्म वृत्तियों की सेवा,
we talked about and we reflected on the subtle service, service through the mind. And today, Baba is saying when the mind is powerful, then the service through the mind will happen. And if the mind is weak, there won't be service through the mind.
के मन में वर्तमान समय यही भावना है
Everyone and each one of us have this feeling in our heart that
न केवल जो मुरलियों के द्वारा आते हैं,
the subtle signals that we receive from Baba, not just from
बाबा के साथ ऐसा
Murli, let the yoga of the intellect be in such a way with Baba that Baba's signals we're able to catch, and based on those signals we're able to think. Based on that, let our words, our deeds and actions be.
इस पर मनन कर रही थी
I was reflecting on this.
तो मैंने ये सोचा कि जब तक हम पांच तत्वों के थोड़े भी इन्फ्लुएंस में हैं या बंधन में हैं और उसमें
If we are under the influence of subtle bondage, and the first one is the bondage of our body, we need to take care of our body
बहुत जरूरी है
because health is also important. Because without the health, even if you want to have meditation or service, is not possible.
लेकिन देहभान न हो, देहाभिमान भी न हो,
Let there not be body consciousness, nor the arrogance of the body. We have to go beyond all of this. We definitely have to go beyond I and mine. But whether it is situation, whether it's person or anything, let there be nothing of that where there is the attachment of mine. If any of those things we have mine, then we can't go beyond. When we go beyond the 5 elements, there is another 5 element.
पदार्थ कहो, जो कुछ भी तत्वों से बना हुआ, जिसको हम दो कहते हैं, एक मैटर कहते हैं,
So when we two things, one is matter and material, whatever thing it might be, whether it is a house, whether it's diamonds, whether it's gold, they're all stuff, they're all material made out of elements, matter.
तो प्रकृति के हैं और प्रकृति में ही जाने हैं। जैसे बाबा कई बार कहता है बच्चे,
Many times Baba says, children,
ऐसे भी देखो कुछ भी ले तो नहीं जाते हम लोग में,
that we don't take anything with us. We are trustees. Baba has given. There's so many tasks which goes on, and in that task everything is merged. There is money, there are material, but our status, our stage, that is that is all talking about how much am I facilitating everything, being a trustee. There is no worry nor extra thoughts. Internally, there is only one thought. It is Baba's task and Baba is getting it done. After the 5 elements, there's the 6th element. And in that 6th element, there is the subtle world and our home, the supreme abode, the incorporeal world. When we go beyond everything to the topmost, at least we should reach the subtle world. Over there, we talk to Baba, we take signals from Baba. And I have seen that the time of Amrit Vela is very good for practicing this. Baba talks about we have connection and relationship. With some people, we have good connection, and with some, we have relationship. When I offered the time, I really feel when I go beyond the body, beyond the 5 elements, everything becomes so clear. What does Baba want to say? What is Baba's signal? When we make such a stage that whenever we sit, whatever thoughts that's happening in our mind, there will only be elevated thoughts, and everything will be so clear. Baba says, many times we ask Baba, if we have to take any direction from Baba and any direction, so Baba would say, but our intellect, one, should be in the supreme abode and our presence in the subtle world. So when we are in these 2 places, our thoughts will be elevated. And based on those thoughts, we will receive power. And those thoughts will be powerful. And along with that being powerful, they are the directions for our future from Baba. One is the future of the world, and the second is the future of the yajna. And each one of us, individually, each one has their own future and fortune. Everyone takes benefit from the gathering, but everyone's account is different. The responsibility of the current time, whether it's Lokik or Alaukik, is different. So based on that, service is also happening. We have to do the service through the mind accordingly. So today is the last, tomorrow would be the last day of the month of May. We will be taking a different topic. You know, all the Avyakt signal that we receive has been extracted from the Murli. Every word is from the Murli. But whatever we hear, we churn. We have to churn, we have to reflect and become an embodiment of that. At the current time, what is the effort that I need to make? Whatever Baba is saying, yes, we are doing it in a gathering and that's okay. But at an individual level, that effort is also important. Personally, we face different kinds of situations and papers, and even based in Gyan, we also get test paper from our body and also from the elements. So that is also very personal. I always think that just remember Baba. I need to just remember Baba. That's it.
क्योंकि याद से ही
It's only by based on remembrance that the alloy will melt away, but not just alloy. Along with the alloy, you will become pure gold. And Baba mentioned about it yesterday and also day before. Everyone will come in golden age. They will all be belonging to the Sun dynasty. But if you want to receive an elevated status, then you have to make effort. So it's important that we reflect, churn. The more you go beyond and think, then your thoughts will be elevated. If I have any interest in anything, then if I am then the thoughts that I have will be ordinary. It won't be elevated. If I have interest in anything, so that's why Baba is saying, make your mind powerful. So then accordingly, as is my awareness, so I will become powerful. Based on the awareness, we become the embodiments of power, and that is an elevated stage. Yesterday, Baba said, see yourself as an elevated living idol in this temple. So even for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, I see yourself that's be seated in this temple as a living idol. Don't have to think a lot. No need to speak a lot. Through your thoughts, through your drishti, service will continue to happen. It does happen. Need to stay light. Need to be smiling. We are fortunate, and make everyone fortunate. Give the awareness of their fortune to each one of them. Even while doing your work, many things will come, and it has to come because it will make us experienced. What you have not done so far, you'll need to do, and that experience will come handy. Everybody asks this question, how do I make my mind powerful? And that is based on the awareness that you create based on knowledge. Our Brahma Baba, a couple of years before his last, on the right side, he used to keep the picture of Sri Krishna. Tomorrow I will become this. Tomorrow I will become this. Tomorrow I will be this. On Baba's face, there would be so much glow. You know, he was so elderly, but there would be so much glow. He was elderly, he is aged. But this was, he used to be like a little child because his awareness was such elevated. Once Baba was sitting on the floor, and it was a small bench, and Baba was meeting. Baba never sat on the top. Whatever level the children would come to meet, Baba would sit at that level. When Baba got up, so I thought, let me give a hand to help him to get up. So Baba said, do you think I am old? It's like, no, Baba, I didn't. He didn't have the consciousness of the body at all. And even if someone else had that consciousness, I didn't know because I was going at the first time, you know, and we will say, hold my hand, and we would lend our hand. Baba never held anyone's hand because this power of the thought. Yesterday, someone told me they were not that well. But what do I have to do?
75 तो होंगे
I'm already
तो बाबा
75.
75 तो क्या है, जितना भी शरीर में बाबा रखे
Why
सब
only
उसके लिए
75? So I told them, no matter how long Baba keeps you in the body, Baba is keeping you for service. So don't get even the consciousness of the age, or that's also related to the consciousness of the body, and there is no power or might in it. So this is the last Avyakt signal of the month, and it's very powerful to make our thoughts, words, and deeds. So we have to first make our mind powerful, and then we will make our words powerful, and then the service will accordingly be like that. So let's take this homework and practice this and reflect this throughout the entire day. And along with that, make every thought powerful, and then you will experience being powerful. And then we can serve through all three levels at once.
ओम शांति। अव्यक्त मुरली रिविजन 1969 से ब्राह्मण
Om
से
Shanti. Revision of the Avyakt Murli from 1969 onwards. Inspiration to become an angel from being a Brahmin.
अव्यक्त वाणी तारीख
Avyakt
है
Murli. The date is 31st December 1970.
अमृत वेले से
Experimenting with the power of
शांति की
transformation
चर्चा।
from Amrit Vela.
इस परिवर्तन संकल्प के
On
आधार
the basis of this
मेरा
transformational thought, the
ये
consciousness
स्वभाव
of
परिवर्तन
mine,
हो जाएगा।
that is, body
इसके
consciousness,
बाद
will be
अपना व्यक्ति
transformed.
स्टूडेंट रूप
After
सदा
this,
स्मृति में
always
रहेगा।
have the form of your
इसमें
being a
विशेष
godly
परिवर्तन
student in your
संकल्प की
consciousness.
चर्चा की
What is the special transformational
जिससे
thought you
हर
need for
सेकंड
this?
की पढ़ाई
The thought through
हर
which the
अमूल्य ज्ञान
study
के
of every
आगमन से
second and the
साधन
imbibing of every
वर्तमान और
invaluable word
भविष्य
create
सदैव
elevated
परिवर्तित होना
reward
चाहिए।
for the present and the future every second.
इसमें
For
सदा
this,
यह
you
परिवर्तन
constantly
होना
need the
चाहिए
transformational
कि
thought.
मैं साधारण
I am
स्टूडेंट
not an
नहीं
ordinary student, and
साधारण
this is
पढ़ाई
not an
नहीं
ordinary study.
लेकिन
But the
बाबा
Father
के पास
Himself
रोज
comes every
प्रत्यक्ष
day
से
from the
मुझे
faraway land
पढ़ाते
to
हैं।
teach me directly. The versions
बाबा
of
के
God
वर्जन्स
are my
मेरी
study.
पढ़ाई है।
The
कृष्ण
elevated
के श्रीमत
directions,
हमारी
Srimad,
पढ़ाई है।
of the one who is doubly
जिसमें हर
elevated
हर
are
पद
our study,
पद्मों
and
की
every word of
वर्षा
this
करने
study
वाला है।
is one that enables
अगर
me to
एक बूंद
accumulate
भी
an
रह जाए
income of multi
तो बोध
millions.
मिस नहीं
If you do
होगा
not imbibe just one
लेकिन
word,
पद्मों
then
की
you have not just
अनेकों
missed a
जन्मों
word,
की
but you
सृष्टि
have
का
missed out an earning
इसी
an
पद
income
में
of multi
सभी
millions
की
on an elevated reward for
ऐसा
many births
परिवर्तन
on
संकल्प
an attaining an
भगवान
elevated
बोल रहे
status.
हैं
The
सुन
transformational
रहे
thought you
हैं
should have is
मेरा
God
ये
is
बाप
speaking
टीचर बनकर
and
आया
I'm
है
listening to him. The
मैं
Father, in the
शुद्ध
form of the
स्टूडेंट
teacher,
हूँ
has come for me.
इसलिए
I am a
बाबा भी
special,
आए हैं
beloved student. This is why
कहाँ
Baba
से
has come
आए
for me.
कौन
Where has
आए
he come
हैं
from?
और
Who
क्या
has
पढ़ा
come?
रहे हैं
And what is he teaching?
यही परिवर्तन
Imbibe these
स्वीकार
elevated
संकल्प है
transformational
रोज
thoughts
क्लास
at
में
the
समय
time
पर
of class
आकर
every
पढ़ाई
day
करो
and then study.
साधारण क्लास
This
नहीं
is not an ordinary class.
सुनाने वाले
Do
व्यक्ति
not
को
see the
नहीं देखो
person who is relating the
लेकिन
words to you,
बोलने वाले बोल
but
कैसे रहे
remember
हैं
whose words they
उसको
are.
सामने देखो
Keep that one in front of
व्यक्त
you.
में अव्यक्त बाप
See the
और
incorporeal
अव्यक्त में
Father
बाप
and the
वही
Avyakt
हो
Father in the corporeal
समझे
form.
क्या
So,
परिवर्तन
do you
करना है
understand what transformation
आगे
you have
चलो
to bring about?
पढ़ाई भी पढ़ ली
Let us go
अभी क्या
further.
करना है
We have studied the study.
अभी सेवा का पाठ
What do we
करना
have
है
to do now? Now
सेवा
we
में
come to the
रुचि
part of
दिखाना है
service.
सेवा
in service, whatever type of service it is, whether of the household or your interaction with others or godly service. If your household and your Lokik relationships are based on karmic bondages while doing service in the household, have the transformational thought, I am now living a life where I have died alive. That is, Lokik karmic bondages have now finished. Do not continue to move along while considering them to be karmic bondages. You become tied in that bondage by thinking and saying karmic bondage, karmic bondage. However, now because you are living a life where you have died alive, then according to Srimad, the relationships of Lokik karmic bondages are now the basis for relationships for service. They are not karmic bondages, but relationships for service. In relationships for service, if you continue to move along, having imbibed knowledge of the variety type of souls and having relationships for service, you will not be troubled by those bondages. No matter how sinful a soul may be, how detrimental he may be, they may be like storks. Do not have feelings of hatred. Do not have distaste and do not be disrespectful to them. But stabilize yourself in the stage of a world benefactor. Be merciful and have feelings of compassion and serve them, considering them to be relationships for service. Then, to the extent that you serve hopeless cases, accordingly you will claim a right to as many prizes. You will be remembered as a famous world benefactor. You will claim the prize of a peacemaker. So, while living at home with the family, have this transformational thought. Instead of karmic bondages, they are relationships for service. However, while doing service, do not develop attachment. Sometimes even doctors become attached to their patients. Relationships for service means to have the form of a tyagi, that is a renunciate, and a tapasvi, the one engaged in deep meditation. The qualification of a true server are renunciation and tapasya. In the same way, in your interaction, you are doing that according to the directions of the livelihood of the body. But the main basis should be for the livelihood of the soul. Do not forget the livelihood of the soul because of the livelihood of the body. While interacting, there should be a balance between the livelihood of the soul and the livelihood of the body. Otherwise, the interaction will become a net of Maya. The more you spread such a net, the more you will be trapped in it. While increasing your wealth, you should not forget the method of remembrance. The method of remembrance and the increase of wealth should both go together. Do not leave aside the method, vidhi, in trying to increase your wealth, vriddhi. This is called transforming from Lokik physical karma into the stage of being a karma yogi. You're not those who just perform karma, but you are karma yogis. Karma means interaction, and yoga means for the sake of God. That is, you're doing it to serve the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. So there should be both interaction and doing something for the sake of God. This is called being karma yogis who follow Srimad. Om Shanti.